Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. Spellbinders has another fun new Christmas release that's available now. This is their Holiday Cheer Collection. I selected a few of the items from the release to play with, although there are more available. I have the Santa Paws Sentiment stamp set. And what's really fun about this stamp set, it coordinates with a previous release called Surprise Box. So it's this fun box die, and there are stamps designed to fit on the very side of the box. I also have two die sets from the release. The first is called Special Pet Delivery, and there's dies included to assemble a kitty and also a puppy. And then I have the Sentiment die set called It's Not a Puppy. So there's several different words, and it also has the outline for each of the words. Another die set I have is called Winter Borders. Now this is not part of the Holiday Cheer Collection. I think it was actually released the previous month, but I may have missed it. I will be using the die set for one of my cards in this video. Card design number 1 will feature the box, and I'll be adding one of the critters inside of the box. I've already stamped out the sentiment on the side of the box, so I have no peeking and also some Christmas icons. The box is very easy to assemble. You can add as much dimension as you want, or you can keep it fairly flat. For the very front piece of the box, there are the two panels that fold back, and I did use a bone folder to get those nice and flat. Then I'll add the front flaps. Just put some liquid adhesive on the back side. And you can glue down those flaps. I decided to leave them up. It adds some more dimension to the card. Then I'll glue on the back portion of the box, and it'll still have the opening so you can slide something inside. I used some liquid adhesive on the inside tabs, but I'll also put a small piece of double-sided tape just to make sure everything stays together while I wait for the glue to adhere. I will be using some pattern paper for my cards. This is from Sunny Studios. It's their Holiday Cheer Collection. It is an older collection, but it is still available. And I do have links provided in the description box for all of the products I use in this video. I'm using some pink tone-on-tone pattern paper with lovely snowflakes in the background. At the very top, I'm adding the snowflake border, and this is from the Winter Borders die set. And I did cut it out using some white shimmer cardstock. I'll adhere it to the very top of the pink pattern paper. I'll layer this panel on some dark pink cardstock. Then I'll put some ATG tape on the back and add my card front onto a card base. All of my cards in this video are American Standard A2 size, 4¼ inches by 5½ inches. I'll also add a Love from Lizi peel off along that very top edge. This is the clear iridescent glitter color in the pinstripe style. Now it's time to assemble one of the critters, and I'll be adding a little kitty inside the box. So I have the head already cut out, put some double-sided tape on the back side, and I'm inlaying the eyes, the cheek, and the nose. Next I'll add the ears. I have a little bit of liquid adhesive on the back side, but just to make sure they're not going to fall off, I'm putting some double-sided tape on the back side as well. Use some light pink cardstock for the inside of the ears. And it looks like I forgot to cut out the body, so I did need to stop the video and go cut out the dark gray body. Add the tummy portion. And this kitty will be wearing a pink bow. And there's two pieces for the bow, and it's hard to see in the video, but the very center of the bow has a tiny embossed heart. So I'll glue the bow to the top portion of the body. Now I'll add the paws, and it has a little portion where it goes behind the body, so that's where you put adhesive. That way the paws are still loose and they can sit on the edge of the box. There's also a separate die to cut out the paws, so I use some white cardstock. There's also a die if you want to add a spot around either of the eyes. So I decided this kitty would have a light gray spot. I'll add the body of the kitty inside the box first, and the paws will rest on the flaps of the box. I'll remove the release paper on the back side of the cat's head, but I'll set that aside for now. I want to attach the box to the card first. So again, remove the release paper, And I'll also put liquid adhesive all over the back side and adhere the box to the center of my card. Then I'll put some thin foam dimension on the back side of the kitty's head. Cut some smaller pieces so I make sure to get coverage on the ear as well. Then one more small piece for the lower portion of the head. Then I'll add the kitty head on top of the body, so now it doesn't look quite so disturbing. This little kitty will also be wearing the reindeer headband, and I used some pink cardstock for the main portion of the headband and some brown cardstock for the antlers. Just glue those to the very top of the kitty's head. I've already cut out the sentiment for you. Use some white cardstock for the words and the darker pink cardstock for that outline. And I do have foam dimension on the back side. I'll adhere it in the lower right hand corner. For embellishments, I'm using the little stars that were in the center of the snowflakes. I'll add 3 of them around the sentiment and 2 of them to the left side of the box. And I'm trying to add them to the center of some of the snowflakes on the pattern paper. It's always nice when you can use those extra little pieces from your die cuts. Add 1 final little star. So there is my finished card, and I did make 2 using this design. This little kitty is absolutely adorable, and I love the box die. There's so many different options for using this die set. Now moving on to card design number 2. I'm using some more pattern paper from the Sunny Studio collection. This time a blue tone-on-tone polka dot paper. I'm adding a couple of Love from Lizi peel-offs to the very bottom of this panel. This is the pinstripe style in the white color. Using the widest width and also the narrowest width. Just wrap those ends around the back. Put some ATG tape on the back and layer this panel on some blue cardstock. Then I'll put some more ATG tape on the back and add my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. Now I can start working on the image and the sentiment. This card will be featuring this sweet little puppy. So I have all of the pieces already cut out, and I've also assembled part of the puppy. The assembly is the same as you would do with a cat. For this card, I'm also using the oval frame. I cut it out from the same blue cardstock I used for the background layer. Then I have a lighter blue cardstock, it's almost more of a teal color for the inside oval. The puppy will have a collar, and I cut that out from some red cardstock. I love this vibrant red color. Then I can attach the head right on top, so now you can see that little portion of the collar. Next I'll add the paws. And I do have double-sided tape on the back. When I was first attaching those paws, I got it on just a little crooked, but luckily I was able to straighten it out. I'll remove the rest of the release paper and also add some liquid adhesive and attach my little puppy inside the oval frame. The sentiment is hello, and it's on this little banner that is included with the die set. There's the main portion of the sentiment and also a little banner for the background piece. I did put some white cardstock behind the sentiment just so it shows a little bit more. Then I attached it onto that background banner piece. The other sentiment that's included in the die set is for you. I love that there's 2 general sentiments. And you could use this die set year round. You may want to leave off the Santa hat and the reindeer if you're not making Christmas cards. I'll put some foam dimension on the very outside edge of the banner and liquid adhesive in the center, and I'll adhere it underneath the puppy so his paws are sitting right on top as if he's holding that sentiment. And this puppy will be wearing a Santa hat. So I'll just glue all those pieces together. I did use some white shimmer cardstock for the white portion of the Santa hat. And I'll put some foam dimension on the back side and also some liquid adhesive before adhering it to the top of the puppy's head. I think the little puppy looks so adorable wearing a Santa hat. Next I'll use a white gel pen and add some highlights to the puppy, the hat, the collar, and also on the sentiment. Then for a final finishing touch, I'm using the tiny paw print stamp. and stamping them directly onto the background. And I'm using the Daydream ink color by Catherine Pooler. It matches that background cardstock color beautifully. I'm using my mini Misty just to make sure I get a good solid impression and just wiping that stamp clean before I move it to the next spot. I put 2 paw prints in the lower right hand corner and 3 in the upper left hand corner. So there is my finished card, and again I did make 2 using this design. Overall, it's a very simple design, but I really like how it turned out. I think the colors look beautiful together. Now here's another look at the 4 cards I made using Spellbinders' brand new Holiday Cheer release. If you are interested in any of the products I used in this video, I do have links provided in the description box below. And there are other items included in this release. I only chose a few of them to play with. And I will have a link for the full release if you want to check that out. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.